Well, it's October 23rd, and the end of our gardening season is coming this weekend for sure, and we may even get a freeze before then. But I'm going to go ahead and dig one of the Yacon at least today and see if we have anything at all. But first, let's take a look back at where we started on this. When I first set it out, we had hail. There's the Yacon, taking a beating along with everything else outside. Oh wow. There's the Yacon. Then it got cold. Worried about it's going to be all right. Yacon I've got covered up with some pots and a symbolo melon pear. Then we had the disaster with the borers that got in the stems. I cut this all the way to the top, and it looks like all that damage was done by one larva. At the base of each one, and you can see this stem here was toast already, and this was well on its way. And after all that, we still got over waist high with them. Let's dig one up and see if we get anything at all. There's where it came from. And here's what we ended up with. There's a big old top. It's really starting to grow better as the year went along. Of course, it did a lot better once we got rid of the borers, but as you can see, we got some tubers. I accidentally broke that one off. I think that's probably this one. But we got something to sample. And the other one's a little bigger than this, so I'm thinking it might have some bigger tubers on it. Of course, the edible parts are down at the bottom, and the parts you want to save to regrow for next year are the rhizomes. And we don't have a whole lot of those, but they're just starting to form there. And that's I guess the parts you'd want to save to regrow. Maybe this whole bottom part. Cut the tubers off down here. But that's better than nothing, which is what I was wondering, whether we'd get anything at all. Now let's go ahead and dig that other one up, see what we have. This second one, I didn't even use the shovel, I just pulled it straight out of the ground. And that's what we got. Got a few tubers on it. They look a little bit different than the ones over here. A little bit darker color. I don't know if that's good or bad. But I happen to remember that we have a smaller one over there. I don't know if we'll get anything out of it. It's pretty small. I'll just go ahead and see if I can pull that up with the camera running. And it looks like it was just beginning to form tubers. So it just didn't have time. It was still growing. But the two big ones, considering everything we went through with them, I think they did all right. If I could figure out a way to keep those borers out of the stems, I think they do real well here. So that's something to work on, I guess. I was just thinking about it, and I think if I could just build some sort of a cage over them and keep them covered until the middle of June or so, when the stem borers stop laying eggs, we might do all right. I'll have to ponder that for the next few months and see what I can come up with. But that's a look at how we did I just put my hand down here so we can see the size of the tubers. They're not big. Some of them are kind of small. But I'm looking forward to giving these a taste test. Well, there's the tubers we got. That's what we ended up with from the two biggest plants. And then these are the rhizomes over here. Now I have to figure out a way to store these over the winter. I don't know if I'll be able to figure out a good way or not, but I'm going to be thinking on it. I've got to come up with something in the next few days. So we'll try to think of something. There's one of our tubers. The first thing I'm going to do is peel part of it so you can see what the inner part looks like. So I'll do that now and then I'll come back. I just peeled one end of it. And when we first dug them up, we went ahead and sampled one, a smaller one, and that was a few days ago, and the flesh was a lot wider on that one. And the first thing that I thought of when I bit into it was a really mild carrot, but the first thing Tanya thought of was a pear. So I'm going to see if this one tastes any different. It has a consistency similar to a potato when you slice through it. Real crispy. Excuse me while I take another bite. I'm not getting the carrot flavor this time. I'm just getting a little sweetness and then a little mild flavor that I'm not sure really how to describe it. I'm going to finish off this little piece. It's just really mild and slightly sweet and really crispy. It's interesting. I think it might be an interesting thing to add to a salad. I'm going to be making a salad later today. I might just put some in that salad and see how it works. But it's got a really interesting texture and crispy and sweet. I'm not getting a whole lot of flavor. It's just a mild sweetness, basically. But I really think I liked the tuber fresh out of the ground rather than after it's had a couple of days to set around. But it's still good.